How you guys doing? We met at Lighthouse.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's where I saw.
That was such a cool festival.
That's a rad
Great
festival.
room. The audience there was off the charts good.
I know. I think filmmakers really like that festival. I think they really go out of their way to treat filmmakers really well.
And do you live there, or were you visiting for the festival?
No, not at all. I'm in New York. I was a juror this year, so that's why I was down there. But I was down there the year before, and I had such a good time that I just said, I'm going to try to come, every year. It's so beautiful, and they put you up on the beach, and it's just terrific.
Yeah.
So you guys excited about your big premiere tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's been such a long road, 5 years, and to have it finally coming out in theaters is really cool. And to have, people like you wanting to talk to us is really cool too. Because I think it's really easy for movies to disappear, and to have this one getting a life in theaters I'm really grateful and excited because I'm proud of the performances that everybody gave, from Shia LaBeouf to Dakota Johnson and even Jake the Snake Roberts and obviously Zack. I'm just excited for people to get to see those in theaters.
Agreed. It's like an old-fashioned movie. It's just like it tells an age-old American story, but it also feels very contemporary. But you know what I mean? I mean, it pays off for people to go to one of those big theaters where it's on a big screen with a big audience and see this small film. I don't mean that in, of course.
No, we're a small film.
Ways.
I totally agree.
It's all the best, but with some big stars, and like you just mentioned, rattled off Shia, and then Dakota Johnson, who, quite frankly, I think she really shows off her 51st shade in this film.
Yeah, it's funny. That's funny.
You see what I did?
Good. Are you been waiting to drop that? That's really good.
Yes. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget.
Yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of the performances are rooted so much in the connection that we all had offset. We sort of ran like a summer camp out there.
Oh.
I mean, it felt like a summer camp, but I mean, even the bad guys like John Hawkes and Yellow Wolf, when the cameras cut, we were all going and eating all-you-can-eat crab leg dinners together. And, of course, Bruce Dern was a hero of ours. So to have...
He just did my podcast. I apologize, I interrupted. I said, Bruce just did my podcast yesterday, so now we're all in the same little geek circle.
Oh, cool.
That's rad.
Was
What
he
you talking about?
Well, he has another film called Freaks that he's in. And, of course, he's in the new Tarantino. But you'll be happy to know I gave a little bit of a shout-out to Peanut Butter Falcon, and he really appreciated that.
Yeah, he was at the Hollywood premiere a week ago, and we had the pleasure of sitting behind him, watching him watch the movie for the first time. And it was really great to just see him respond to the performances and smile. And we actually we were on the red carpet.
Did he walk out after his part of the film was over?
No, he stayed in.
I'm kidding. Right?
He went to the after party. He went to the after party for a while. Great. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. No, I'm just kidding, of course. I wouldn't have expected that he would have walked out because he's in the opening sequence. That's why I mentioned that to those listening. But again, I don't know if you heard me, but when I mentioned that I saw him in that, seemed very pleased.
Yeah.
So your film will be also mentioned in another episode, is my point. That's all I can say. So I've done my bidding,
Yeah.
Okay, so then, and Thomas Hayden Church and John Hawkes, as you mentioned. What a great cast. And then this guy you found, Zack Gottsagen. How do you pronounce his name?
Gottsagen, but yeah, Zack Gottsagen.
Gottsagen. Very good. Very talented, very funny, and just happens to have Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, well spoken, by the way.
Yeah, he's a trained actor. He's been studying acting since he was 3 years old. He went to a performing arts high school. He works in a movie theater. This is one of my favorite stories about him. He works in a movie theater right now because he likes to be close to movies. And his theater started playing the Peanut Butter Falcon trailer when it came out about a month ago. And people would come out of screenings and see him there and just say, Were you just on screen in a movie with Dakota Johnson and Shia LaBeouf? And he'd say, yeah, that's my movie. That's my movie.
Then he played it cool.
Yeah.
He played it cool. So he must be just really happy about how it turned out because he really comes off well in it.
Yeah.
And I got to say, he's got some great chemistry with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a really talented actor with a special energy. And at the same time, he's happy. but he's also, I would say, more grounded than most people I know. So I don't think he lets it affect him that much. He's excited, and he was on the Today Show, and he was on a bunch of these national shows just recently, but he's also really grounded and still the same Zack.
Yeah, well, he said he wouldn't do my podcast because it was beneath him, but I don't know. Maybe he thought he was trying to express something else. I'm sure I just misinterpreted what he said.
He did, in a Q&A the other day, we were there with Zack and Shia in L.A., and somebody said, Zack, will you do the secret handshake with Shia? And he just said, no, that's our special thing we just do when we want. You can never force.
We're not monkeys, damn it.
Right. Zack knows himself well. And if he didn't want to do your podcast, well then, hey, he didn't want to do your podcast.
I know. I'll just have to get over it. I know. You guys did mention before how you bonded offset because you were in this retreat, summer camp kind of environment that you set up. And you were having like these crab dinners and all. So we should mention that the film is shot in the Bayou country.
Yeah, I mean, it's shot in the intercoastal waterway. We shot in Savannah, Georgia. And
I see. Very good.
But there's a lot of water. I mean, the coast of Georgia is, I think they say they have like under 10 miles of beaches. Most of it is wetlands. So there's a lot of stuff that was written for marsh and rivers and things like that. It's a really cool coastline.
Okay. I did not see. It's what was it when we were at Lighthouse? It was like a good month, maybe month and a half ago or something. So it's been a little while since I've seen it.
Yeah, maybe 2 months even. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still fresh in my mind, more or less, except that I suggested that it was shot in Louisiana, which was a
It could have been. That was an option. It just is more of an east.
Thank you.
Southeast, but it feels like Mud is a movie that I love and sort of has that feel and was shot in Louisiana.
Yes. What's his name? Nichols? Nichols?
Jeff Nichols. Oh, my gosh. Have you seen Loving? Have you seen his movie Loving? It's so good.
Yes, I did see it. I've seen all of his films. He did the podcast, too, just to keep plugging at my own thing here. Well, again, the name of the film is called Peanut Butter Falcon, which is opening in New York tomorrow. Jesus.
Yeah, I think New York, L.A., Dallas, Austin, Salt Lake City, and Charlotte and Denver, I think, is our limited release. Right. And then it'll be nationwide on the 23rd.
Oh, good. I was going to ask you if it was in any major markets. I was kidding. I'm going to joke around. That's awesome that you're getting that Roadside Attractions is getting behind it with such enthusiasm.
Yeah, and they put out Mud and Manchester by the Sea, so they sort of get movies like this. I'm excited about what they're doing and really grateful.
Character-driven films, which, as much as people complain, there's a handful that come out every year, and I live in New York, so you always run into actors and, people and that kind of thing. I don't know if you guys, it's in the festival circuit simultaneously that you were in the last year. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see or hear about South Mountain.
No, I haven't heard about it. What's it about?
Okay. I don't want to waste our time talking about another film, but it is directed by Hilary Brocker, who also teaches up at Columbia Film School. But she made this beautiful little story, and it stars this actress named Talia Balsam. And it's just a wonderful. I bring it up because I just it's fresh in my mind because I just ran into the actress who carries the film. But it's another character-driven story like Peanut Butter Falcon. It's concerned with people and concerned with relationships, and it has a lot of humor. And Peanut Butter Falcon is you could pretty much call it a comedy. I would think that's what it is, but with obviously dramedy. But I guess fits
I think
too,
what do we say? It's a little too funny to be a drama and a little too dramatic to just be a comedy. it's in between there,
right.
And in a way that we mentioned Mark Twain a couple times in the film. I think he did that well with his sort of writing as well. So it's a tone that we really like.
Right, and that's right. He was America's first stand-up comedian, or first.
Yep.
Mark Twain.
And a lot of this does take place on a river raft, so it fits all too well, and that's why I was kind of saying it felt like a very American story, and as well as, of course, the wrestling aspect to it is a very American component.
Yeah,
obviously.
I think it's a time that people. I think it's nice to remember how beautiful and loving America could be if you just sort of like lean caring about each other. You know, we don't all have to be tearing each other apart all the time. You can just love each other a little bit more, and it can be such a beautiful place.
That's a nice thing to say.
I'll believe it.
I know, I very much so. It is a much needed story for this particular date and time. I agree with you. So I'm going to encourage people to find the theater close to you to see this movie, and please support independent film. This is a great example of an independent film that will pay back in dividends. So tell everybody to go out and see Peanut Butter Falcon.
Well, thank you so much.
And we're talking to the directors, Michael Nilson and Tyler Schwartz. Just kidding.
You guys know my name, but I'll take it. I was going to correct it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I couldn't hear that last bit, but I very well. But I'm assuming you're capturing on your iPhone. I appreciate you're doing that.
I am. I'm capturing it. I'll send it to you on email. I've got a 12 minutes and 20-second recording.
Filmwax.
Filmwax. Got it.
.com. Yeah, Bruce is going to be coming up, and I had on Michael Moore the other day. I went up to his film festival.
Oh, yeah, the film was playing up at Traverse City, too.
I know. I asked if you were there at Traverse City because I was there for like 3-4 days, and I thought this would be a perfect place to do it, but your publicist said you were not going to be there. So
yeah, we've been sort of running around the country a little bit. We weren't there.
No, I understand. But try to go to that one with your next film or just as fans, because it's a beautiful festival. And like Lighthouse, they take wonderful care of you. I mean, wonderful care of you. So you should definitely try to continue to get your films into that festival. This will sound like we're in the same room, which is why I asked you to do that at the last second. And I figured between the two of you, you'd probably have a spare phone.
Well, smart. Thank you, Adam. And I will email this to you in the next couple hours. And thanks for having us.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Tyler. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.